After changing Twitter's name to X, everyone started to think Elon Musk is obsessed with the letter X. But the thing is, he might be way more obsessed with stars. Well, he kinda is. Because the dude has a rocket company with a goal to be multiplanetary and eventually interstellar species. But it doesn't just stop with a goal and a mission. He might be very much obsessed with the word star, maybe even more than he is with X. Although we haven't seen a starship carrying Starlink satellites, launched at Starbase where the team checks everything at Star Control. But for now, let's take a look at some things that are named after stars at SpaceX. SpaceX announced its intention to build a launch facility at Boca Chica Village, Texas in 2014. Originally, the site was intended to support launches of the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, but in early 2018, SpaceX changed the plans and announced that the launch site would be used exclusively for SpaceX's next-generation launch vehicle, Starship. After having some issues with the Boca Chica Village residents, SpaceX started the constructions as they acquired the land. By September 2019, the site had already been transformed into an operational launch site. In about 16 months of construction, a launch table for Super Heavy, a tank farm, and a launch tower was added to the site. Also, giant chopstick arms to catch the returning Super Heavy rocket were added within that time frame. At first, the purpose was to have a launch site that would allow the company to accommodate its launch manifest, but Elon Musk later revealed his dreams about turning the site into a city. By March 2021, SpaceX began to refer to the place as Starbase. The city of Starbase would first accommodate people who work at the launch site, and eventually would be a tourist destination for those who want to witness the liftoff of powerful rockets. There are over 500 people employed at the facility, and so many people visit the area to watch rocket launches, but Starbase is still not a city. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation launched and operated by SpaceX. It provides internet coverage in over 60 countries. Very first Starlink satellites were launched in 2019. As of August 2023, SpaceX has more than 5,000 mass-produced small satellites in low Earth orbit. For now, 12,000 satellites are planned to be deployed, and eventually this number would be extended to 42,000. With around 2 million subscribers and one of the fastest internet speeds, Starlink isn't everyone's favorite. There is an FAA report given to the Congress about future risks of these satellites. It was reported that deorbiting of Starlinks can cause a potential danger to aircrafts and people. But SpaceX didn't agree with this report and claimed that Starlink satellites were designed in a way that they burn up completely during deorbiting, so they don't leave any pieces behind. Astronomers have also raised concerns about the effects of the constellations, stating that these satellites leak low-frequency radio waves and thus make it harder to observe the space. SpaceX has attempted to mitigate astronometric interference concerns by reducing the satellite's brightness during operation. An estimated price per satellite is about $500,000. Although the company was expected to generate around $7 billion in 2022, the real profit was much less than that. SpaceX could only make a revenue of $1.4 billion in 2022. In addition, when the project was still an idea in 2015, they were hoping for 20 million subscribers within the next few years, while numbers show that Starlink has 10 times less subscribers than the anticipated number. While Starlink is designed for consumer and commercial use, Starshield is for government use. The Starshield program was announced in 2022 to incorporate military or government payloads on board a customized satellite bus. This project will use the same type of broadband technology that is used in Starlink satellites. Starshield uses additional high-assurance cryptographic capability for classified payloads and processing data securely, meeting the most demanding government requirements. These satellites are much heavier. They have twice the area as a single Starlink Block V1.5 and have 2 pair of solar arrays as opposed to 1 on Starlink V1.5. Starshield provides inherent resiliency and constant connection to on-orbit assets. There has already been 4 Starshield launches for different customers. On top of that, in October 2022, SpaceX has won its first contract with the United States Space Force. The one-year contract is worth $70 million and was already confirmed by a Space Force spokesperson. Starshield will have 3 main uses: Earth observation, communications, and hosting the most demanding customer payload missions. Starhopper was the first Starship prototype that was tested in a low-altitude flight after passing tanking tests, wet dress rehearsals, pre-burner tests, and a static fire test. Starhopper hopped twice before it was repurposed as a water tank and used at the production facility, though I'm not sure if they call it Star Tank or not. During the live stream of the first integrated flight test of Starship back in April, It was very briefly mentioned by the host that the Mission Control Center at SpaceX is called Star Command Center among the staff members. Last but not least, Starship. Starship is a two-stage super heavy lift launch vehicle and spacecraft that is still under development. It is currently the tallest and most powerful space launch vehicle to have ever flown. Starship is made up of the Super Heavy booster and the Starship spacecraft. Unlike other spacecrafts made by SpaceX, Starship is intended to be fully reusable, which means both stages will be recovered after a mission and used again for future missions. SpaceX has huge plans for Starship. They want to use it travel from one place to another right here on Earth, to go and land on the Moon, and eventually to enable SpaceX's ambition of colonizing Mars. The main goal of building the Starship system is to achieve frequent space launches at quite low cost. After testing multiple prototypes in low and high altitudes, the very first integrated flight test of the Starship system took place on the 20th of April, 2023, and after 4 minutes into the launch, the test vehicle got exploded. The environmental dangers the launch caused led to an FAA and FWS investigations.